Let's get my notes open. Face ID no longer works. Coding. Hey, are we recording? I forgot already. It's a shocking behaviour, Alice. Right. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today, something slightly different. I'm going a little bit off script. Well, I'm going completely off script. So tonight, or whenever you watch this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, God, I sound famous, don't I? Even though I'm not. Yeah, this is going to be different to what you usually see if you are one of the visitors that I get to what I'm doing on YouTube. I know at the minute that I'm just starting out. I'm fledgling, really. YouTube has always been something I've thought about for a number of years. And like everything I do in my life, I waited until I was pretty much late 40s, early 50s before I decided to do something about it. So tonight, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk to you about why I think you personally should look to do something on YouTube yourself at a ripe old age. So whether you're 40, 45, 50, 51, as in my case, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put my cards on the table and say to you guys, this has been, without doubt, one of the best things that I've ever done. Certainly in the last 10, 15 years of my life. And I've done quite a bit. I've tried to do quite a bit in my life. You know, I've gone from trying to climb the highest mountain in the world. I've wrote a few books. You know, I'm constantly trying things. If something doesn't work, then I'll try something else. God loves a trier, isn't that the saying? And I'm one of these people who likes to try. I like to put myself out there and try something. You know, I don't like resting on my laurels. You know, you find out if something doesn't work. You know, you try something, and then if you think, maybe this isn't for me, you've got two options. You can try again, or you quit. Now with YouTube, I'm not the success by my own standards that I'd like to be, but I'll tell you one thing for now, I'm having a tremendous amount of fun. And honestly, it's been so liberating. It's been an amazing experience in my life. And it's allowing me to live out, I'll be honest with you, it's allowing me to live out a childhood dream. And that childhood dream that I've always harbored was to be like some kind of a TV host, you know, a historian, a factual TV reporter, somebody out in the field telling a story. It was just always been a dream of mine that I never really did anything about it until now. And now I'm living that out. I'm living out this dream through YouTube. Whether people watch remains to be seen. Hopefully, at some point, people will start watching. But in the process, I'm having a lot of fun in the meantime. I'm learning the trade. I'm becoming more comfortable with the process of talking into the camera like I'm doing right now. And it's one of them things, everybody says that you've just got to start. You've got to start somewhere. So I urge you, and I'd strongly recommend, if you're watching this episode, then clearly the title's hooked you in. There's something about this title. What have I come up with? I think I'm going to go with, I put into ChatGPT, give me 10 ideas for a title for my latest YouTube episode. And the two that I'm stuck on are Think You're Too Old for YouTube, Think Again. There's that one, well, you'll know because you've seen the title. And the other one I'm thinking about is possibly Breaking Barriers, Starting a YouTube Channel in Your 50s. So if you've seen that title and you're watching, it's because clearly you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel. It's something that interests you yourself, and that's why you're watching. So hello, welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ellis. Now I started dabbling with YouTube, I think it was probably November of 2023. So November at the back end of last year. Now, I've completely and utterly changed tact on what I was doing. Originally, when I started my YouTube journey, I was literally just turning the camera on to myself, recording myself talking, sat in my car. I was doing a lot of car talks. I was being very transparent about various aspects of my life. No holes barred. I wasn't afraid of wearing my heart on my sleeve and revealing it onto the internet, onto YouTube. Now, it's fair to say that I don't necessarily think that was probably the right direction that I should have gone down. But the one thing that it did teach me was confidence in front of the camera. I'm still not 100% confident speaking to the camera because it's not natural. You guys know that. If you turn your iPhone or your smartphone, let's say an iPhone or a Samsung phone or some smart device, because not everybody's got $1,000 Canon camera. So to start this process, chances are you're going to be using your iPhone or your smartphone. Sorry, let's get away from saying iPhone. I'm saying that because I own an iPhone, but a smartphone. I'm assuming you're going to be starting YouTube using a smartphone, and that is absolutely 100% fine. There's not an issue with that. That's how I've started. In fact, I'm still using my smartphone. I'm looking right now at my iPhone 13 Pro. Everything I've done on my channel thus far has been recorded on my iPhone 13 Pro. I'm not in a position to go out and splash out on a lavish state-of-the-art vlogging camera, which I don't necessarily think I need right now. The only thing that I've actually spent money out on since I started my channel was on the microphone. I've upgraded my microphone, so I'm no longer just using the internal mic on the iPhone. I'm actually using a DJI wireless mic too, which in the UK, I think I paid about £190 for that from Amazon. But it's been a blessing. It's been one of the best things that I've splashed out on, because that means now, for the purpose of my channel and what I do, which is I'm out and about, I'm visiting tourist attractions, I'm visiting hotels, beaches, haunted houses, quirky, mysterious places, wherever it may be. And obviously, if you're outside, there's a lot of distraction, there's a lot of noise that you've got to take into account. This microphone massively helps eradicate any sort of background noise. I can put noise cancelling on. I can be 20, 30 meters away from the iPhone. Well, you wouldn't really see me, but you'd still be able to hear me. So that's the one overriding piece of advice I would say. Start with a smartphone, without a doubt. Use the internal microphone to get going. But then at some point, the first thing I would recommend that you upgrade to is a much better microphone, whether it's a DJI mic. I know there's some other big makes out there. I can't think of them right now. The names just don't come to my top of my head. But honestly, smartphone is really all you need to get going. So going back to my point there, what I was going to say is we're so used to using smartphones that ubiquitous. Everybody has one, but we generally use them to point away from us. We're taking photos of people, of places, of sites. We might be recording video of what we're actually seeing. It's very rare that we actually turn that camera onto us in a selfie style mode. And when we do, it just doesn't feel natural. We kind of we go in on ourselves, and we don't like the process, because I'll tell you now, it's not natural. It is not a natural thing to sit and stare at a little block, and you can't see yourself unless you're using the front-facing camera. Is that the front? Yeah, the front-facing camera on the screen. Unless you're using that, you can't see. So I'm using the back camera on the iPhone right now because that's a better camera. But it's not natural. So when I started my YouTube journey, I was producing a video every single day. They were absolutely rubbish, and I'm going to tell you that from the outset. They were terrible, and the views that I was getting kind of justified that. Nobody was engaging with me. I was getting a lot of negativity. I was getting a lot of dislikes. It was a very demeaning process, and it made me seriously reconsider continuing on YouTube, because I felt as though I wasn't coming across well, that people hated me, and I didn't know why, because I was just trying to be authentic. I was trying to be myself, and it really cut like a knife. So I went back to the drawing board. I looked at what I was doing, and I decided that what I was doing, which was vlogging every single day, a man of my maturity, living in the UK, was not working. It was not what the platform wanted. It was not what people wanted to see. So then I looked at it and I thought, now's the time. Now's the time to either come off YouTube, or now's the time to reinvent yourself and do what you really want to do. And don't be suckered into what YouTube's telling you. You can go on YouTube and you'll see a myriad of videos and advice on people saying how to get views on YouTube, how to become monetized on YouTube. You should do this, you should do that. But that's straying from your niche, it's straying from your passion. You know, if I was purely view driven, and if I just wanted this vehicle of YouTube just to be monetized and to be a way to earn money, then I would do the steps that I've seen on videos telling me what to do. I'd be putting informative videos out. I'd be putting educational content out. That's not what I'm doing. I'm more about entertainment. I'm more about, you know, showing places and showing and talking about the factual history of places. Now, I know that generally is going to be way down on the pecking order of YouTube views, because there's not much value in my niche to you, the viewer, because it's something that I'm incredibly passionate about, and that's why I'm continuing with that. But I also know that that's not necessarily what everybody else is going to be passionate about. However, YouTube is a big enough platform that with time, eventually, I'm confident that if I keep going, if I keep harnessing myself, if I keep growing as a YouTube presenter, then I'm confident that I might eventually take my channel and take it somewhere that would be way beyond my comprehension right now. But you've got to be in it to win it. There's no good just looking at and researching and doing all this due diligence if you're not prepared to do anything about it. You must be prepared to put yourself out there, put your head above the parapet, take the shots if they're going to come your way. Because the one thing I will say is, unfortunately, you do get a lot of negativity on YouTube. Well, that's not fair to say a lot. You do get some negativity on YouTube. You can please, the quote is that you can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. And never a truer word has been spoken than that. I've experienced it firsthand. I've experienced it back in November when I started my daily vlogs. People can be cruel, people can be cutting, people can be vicious, and they'll let you know under no, make no bones about it, under no, unusual circumstances here. People will just go for the jugular. If they don't like you, they'll put a comment. It's nasty, it hurts, it's not a good experience to go through. But I'm telling you, the benefits far outweigh the negatives of that. Believe me, they do. Because now I'm moving more into what I'm passionate about doing on YouTube, which is my e-trips. I call them e-trips because it's Ellis, my name, Ellis Trips. And it's just my way of getting out and about and exploring the UK a little bit further afield if I'm able to. In time, if I'm able to monetize this channel and I'm able to join YouTube's partner program, which I guess we all want to do, that's the ultimate aim with any YouTube channel, is to grow to that level, then I'm confident that I'm on the right path, that I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not getting the views. I'm nowhere near the levels that I would need to be to monetize this channel. But the one thing I am going to say, and I'm going to reiterate this again and again, is I'm ecstatically enjoying the experience. It's bringing me out of my shell. It's giving me a lot of confidence. And like I've said previously, I'm living out a childhood dream here of being kind of like a TV host. Whether I'm any good remains to be seen, but I'm enjoying it. I am getting some nice comments from one or two people who are following along and joining in with my e-trips. So I feel as though I'm on some path. I don't know where that path's going to veer off to just yet, but I feel as though if I stay the course and stay the journey, that eventually the road is going to be paved and I'm going to lead. What's the saying? The road to Damascus? All roads lead to Damascus. Is that right? So I'm confident that if I keep going and I keep doing what I'm doing, then I'll get there. Oh, hello. Hello, Amber. This is Amber. I'm looking after a French dog for a few days, so she's glued to me at the minute. So she's just come in to say hello. So that's going to wrap up for this part one of what I want to say here. I'm going to drop another video like this in a few days' time, and it's just something that I want to get more into, I guess, in a way. The e-trips and the getting out and exploring, my tagline of keep wandering and keep wondering is true to me. That's true to who I am. That's going to be the bread and butter of my YouTube channel here. That's going to be what I do. But every now and then, I think one of these videos where I can come in and just be a little bit more open, a little bit more transparent with you. You get to see me off script, no teleprompter, no talking factual, historical, interesting facts here. It's just me off the top of my head saying what I've learned about YouTube so far, how I found the process, and if I can, if I can take anything from what I've experienced since last November, because I'm at a point now where I'm honing the craft, if you like. I know what I do well now, and I'm still learning. When you start YouTube, this is always going to be a learning process. When I first started, I was literally just using the editing software that comes bundled on my Mac, and it's that iMovie. It's as basic as they come. I didn't know how to use it. I watched a couple of YouTube videos. I learned how to use iMovie to start editing and start putting some basic footage together, with jump cuts, that type of thing, getting rid of all the fluff that shouldn't be in a video. I learned all to do that over a couple of weeks by watching YouTube, and I started using iMovie. I've now outgrown iMovie. I'm now paying to use something a little bit more sophisticated. It's still quite basic. I think CapCut Pro is what I'm currently using, and I've learned how to use the systems there. And that's why over the last several weeks, my videos, the quality on them has got better and better, because I'm learning and I'm growing. And that's what you do. It's small steps, isn't it? So from tiny acorns, mighty oak trees grow. And that is, kind of where I am and what I'm hoping. So this is going to end part one. If you've enjoyed this style of video, if you know who I am and you watch my e-trips, then please leave me a comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications for this, because I am going to do a few more parts. This is just the introduction to what I want to talk about. There are going to be a second part and a third part where I'm going to go a little bit more into detail about the process of beginning your YouTube journey and picking on your niche and playing on your niche, playing to your strengths and doing what makes your soul sing. And that's what it's about. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't deviate away. We could all go for the easy thing of trying to do something that you think is going to get you monetized really quickly. At the moment, when I talk about being monetized on YouTube, basically what I'm talking about is YouTube giving you a royalty check every month for showing ads on your videos on the platform. To anybody who doesn't have a premium YouTube channel, i.e. I have one, which I pay every month, and I don't see ads on videos. For people who just watch YouTube as is, you'll see a plethora of ads all over videos. And those ads are what are YouTube's bread and butter. That's the engine that makes YouTube work. YouTube's being paid out for all that advertising revenue. And if they show those ads on your videos, you get a percentage of that ad per 1,000 views that your video gets. It's quite a complicated system, but it's nothing too difficult once you actually start reading around it. I'm not really paying much attention to it just yet because I'm nowhere near being monetized. You need to have 1,000 subscribers, which I have. And then the crux for me is you need to have 4,000 public watch hours over the last 12 months. Now, that doesn't sound like an awful lot, but when each video that you put out is literally just getting 100, 150 views, and your average watch time on a video is about 6 minutes, you can see how woefully short someone like me could potentially be from that 4,000 hours. And I think at the moment, I'm only on about 350 hours over the last 12 months. Now, if I don't hit, when the 12 months is up, if I don't hit that 4,000, it'll reset again. And then I'm going to have to try and hit those 4,000 watch hours in the next year or over another 12-month period. However, don't let that be doom and gloom, because all you really need is one of your videos to hit. You need a video to go viral. You could have one video that hits like gold. It can go stratospheric. You can go from having 100, 200 views per video, and then for some reason, one of your videos really takes off and you get 200, 300,000 views. Your watch time is going to dramatically increase. And before you know it, you could be on the path to being monetized. So don't give up hope with YouTube. It sounds as though it's a million miles away in terms of being able to monetize the channel. I'm not speaking from experience here because I'm not monetized, so I'm not the best person to give this kind of advice. But the one thing I am going to say is I'm going to give it my best to try and become monetized. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is by doing this, by being authentic, doing my e-trips on a regular basis, getting out and about, getting more people familiar with the style of stuff I'm doing, but enjoying it, you know, because there's nothing worse than watching somebody on YouTube who doesn't look as though they're enjoying it. You know, if you don't enjoy something, you're not going to stick at it and you're going to quit. You have to, it's quite transparent, it's quite obvious if somebody enjoys what they're doing. I would like to think now with my e-trips over the last 12, 13 episodes that I've put out, I've found my mojo, I've found what makes me tick, I've found the style of content that I enjoy doing. Yes, I know it's not going to be very lucrative in the long term in terms of views. You know, it's not a financial advice-based channel where I'm giving practical financial tips. Those type of videos monetize very, very easily, and they also pay very, very well. I could sell out, I could do that. I'm not a financial independent advisor, but if I really, really wanted to just make YouTube a business or an income stream, that's exactly what I would do. But I'd be selling out, and that's not what I want to do. I want to be true to myself, and I want to do my passion. And my niche is my childhood dream of being a TV host and talking about things and being out and about. As you'll see if you go back and watch some of my other content now that's on my channel, some of these e-trips, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. They're nothing like this. This is a talking head style video where I'm literally sat talking at you guys for half an hour here about the process of starting a YouTube channel as an older person. I think it's one of the best things, and it's one of the best investments that you could make in yourself. If you have some time, if you want another hobby, if you want something that's a bit outside of your comfort zone, go for it. Go for it. Because I'm going to give you some cliches here, but you know, that old saying of a ship in a harbour is safe, but that's not what ships are for. They're meant to sail and meant to explore. Just like, does that make sense? You know, get outside of your comfort zone. Magic doesn't happen in comfort zones. Magic happens by putting yourself outside of your comfort zone. Take me, for instance. Just before I wrap up here, one of my recent e-trips, I visited a hotel in the north of England and I stayed overnight. And I spoke about the history of this hotel, the Marsden Grotto it's called. If you want to check out the link, I'll put it up in one of the corners. I'm not sure how it works, but you'll see it. If you want to click and watch that video after this one's finished, that's probably been my most successful e-trip video thus far. I've had over 2,000 views on that one, which I'm super, super pleased about. And as a result of that video, I've now been contacted by a hotel in the south of England who liked what I did with that video and liked how I spoke about the history, the potted history, the ghostly history of that hotel. And I've now been invited to go and spend a night at this hotel in the south of England, absolutely free of charge, as long as I do another video in the style that I did my Marsden Grotto video. Now, that wouldn't have happened, clearly, had I not put myself out there and started this whole channel. So that's one small win that I'm really, really proud of, that you know, somebody somewhere has seen that video, has liked it enough to invite me to then do it again, replicate that video at another establishment. So I've done something right in somebody's eyes. So I'm really pleased with that. But you know what I'm saying here. You've got to put yourself out. You've got to be in it to win it. You know, that was never going to come and happen if I hadn't have done that. And I'm quite happy to do that. I'm going to travel down to the south of England in a couple of weeks' time. I'm going to stay at this establishment. I'm going to do my research on it. I'm going to come up with some really pertinent facts about its haunted history, the history of the hotel, the history of the area. And I'll try and present it in my personality and my style. And that's my niche. That's my channel. That's what I do. So I'm going to end it here. I've probably gone on way too long for a YouTube video. I get that. But this is going to be part one of this series. Now, what was the title that I came up with here? I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my notes on my iPad again. Think you're too old for YouTube? Think again. Part one. Part two is going to come real soon. We'll see how this video goes. You know, if this video does okay, there will be a part two where I'll go into a little bit more detail. And I'm thinking this could be a three-parter about starting your own YouTube journey, your own YouTube adventure, and whatever that is that you want it to be. So if you've watched, thank you very much for watching. And I'm going to finish with my outro that I put onto all of my e-trips, which is keep wondering, because you have to keep wondering in life. And me personally, I like wandering. I like getting out there off the beaten path and seeing what's away from the norm, and seeing what's... That's why everything I do is all a bit quirky and mysterious, because it's off the beaten path. It keeps me wondering, and it keeps me wondering. Please, I hope you watch. Please subscribe. Please click on the notifications so you'll see when the second part in this series is put up onto my YouTube channel. And I hope you've enjoyed it. It's something a little bit different. It's a bit outside of my comfort zone, but as I've just said, that's where magic happens. I'll see you all in the next installment.